I need to blow my nose and my tongue is on fire. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Kolb, your host of Learn and Burn. It's the show with spicy science topics and even spicier sauces. Here on the show, we will talk hot science topics while enjoying some wings that are jazzed up with Promega-made hot sauces. Before we get started, let's talk sauce. Each of these sauces have been made from locally sourced produce grown in the garden on Promega's campus in Madison. Promega has made a commitment to sustainability, which has led to the culinary team starting almost an acre of garden known as Bluebird Farms. The garden includes a pepper patch with 10 pepper types and 600 plants which are arranged in rows, increasing hotness. The sauces were then prepared by Promega's culinary staff. Thank you for providing these awesome sauces for us. We've heard they're pretty hot, but I guess we'll find out for ourselves today. On this episode, I'm joined by Matt Robers. Welcome, Matt, and thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited to be here today. Very excited to talk about our technology and to experience some of these exciting hot sauces.
Great. Well, we're glad you're here. And just to kind of share a little bit about Matt and his background. Matt is known at Promega as the King of Spice and has hosted a lunch and burn himself where he described the science of the hot sauce while daring participants to test their spice tolerance. So Matt here is no newbie to hot sauces. Matt is a senior research scientist and a group leader who has been at Promega for 10 years. He specializes in cell-based assay development and target engagement systems. He leads the group at Promega charged with developing new methods to analyze drug binding properties in cell-based systems. All right, the first sauce is named Habanada. It is our most gentle sauce. It should have about 0 to 50 Scoville units of heat. All right, Matt, let's go ahead and take our first bite.
Awesome.
See how this goes.
Okay. Sweet.
I was going to say that's actually got really good flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have feared this one too much. We still have 120,000 Scoville units to go.
Now, for me, personally, that's below my limits of detection. I can't tell you whether there's any heat in this one.
Yeah, it's kind of like a jam for wings. It's not hot, sweet, a little tangy. So You've been here for about 10 years. Can you give the audience a brief introduction to target engagement technology?
I'm happy to. In addition to being a chiliophile, I am, my group specializes in a method that allows us to look at and quantify the drug binding properties of our customers' molecules in a living cell context. So normally we look at binding parameters in a cell-free system. That's sort of the more traditional way to evaluate compound or drug binding properties. But we've recognized, and I think the field has generally recognized, that quantifying those binding properties in the actual environment where the drug needs to operate, which is inside of a living cell, can be much more physiologically relevant. And our method is it uses the NanoBret technology platform, which is essentially a proximity-based assay that measures energy transfer between a fluorescent drug tracer and a target protein that's got nanolike attached to it inside of a living cell. And so it reports on real-time target engagement. You can measure the kinetics of engagement, you can measure the affinity of engagement, you can measure the fractional occupancy of engagement, and it is a relatively new method, but it's really taking off in the field and enabling drug discovery for many different target classes.
Awesome. Sounds like a technology that is capable of doing a lot of different things for research.
Indeed, it is, yes.
So now let's start really getting things heating up here. Our second is called Aji Rico. The sauce is prepared from Aji Rico chilies. Our best estimate is that it should be about 17,000 Scoville units of heat.
So 17,000, we hopefully will register on our chili meter.
Try it out.
So it's got a nice bright red color.
Oh yeah.
Delicious.
That's so good. I love that all of these sauces too are also prepared by Promega's culinary team.
Yes, Nate is a real amazing chef, and he himself is a chiliophile as well.
Yeah, and if you're local here in Madison, you can check them out at the Fitchburg Farmers Market. Now that we just enjoyed our second sauce, Matt, what target are you the most excited about and why?
Yeah, so what hot targets, unintended, do we have in our target engagement pipeline? And there's definitely a number of targets that I'm really excited about. And anybody who knows about our platform knows that over the years, we've really been emphasizing pretty well-established target classes, especially kinases and some epigenetic targets and some G protein coupled receptors and so forth. But really, probably the target or the pathway that I'm most excited about right now is the RAS-MAPK pathway and the RAS target itself. And of course, most people in drug discovery understand the importance of RAS, which is sort of the molecular switch that goes haywire in cancer cells. And for decades, that's been a hot target that people have tried to pursue with small molecule drugs. And it was until recently deemed undruggable because people weren't able to identify or create molecules that were able to inhibit its activity or its sort of its switch mechanism in a cellular context. And people kind of recently popped the cork on that and figured out some tricks to inhibit and engage that target. And we jumped on that opportunity and built some energy transfer probes that allow us to quantify small molecule engagement to RAS and a number of the oncogenic variants, and also some other family members within the RAS family. And it really fits into a nice broader narrative about looking at target engagement to that whole pathway, not only RAS itself, but its downstream effectors. And there's tremendous excitement in the field right now about our advancement. And really, we're going to be doubling down in this area and really emphasizing RAS biology with the target engagement platform. And we're excited about the possibilities there. So,
well, we are also very excited to be a part of all of the hot targets that are going out there and being a part of our researchers' journey as they uncover and learn new things with us. So let's get on to our third sauce. The third sauce is called liquid lava. It includes red fatilase with a little bit of Hinkle hots. This sauce should hit about 60,000 Scoville units. Oh yeah, that's a nice pretty sauce.
Bright red, and I can actually see the seeds in this one, so this could be somewhat diabolical. This one is really thick. This one's dense. I'm guessing this is going to be pretty spicy.
Oh yeah, that one's got a kick to it. It lingers afterwards too.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've jumped 40,000+ Scoville units, can you tell us scientifically what is happening in your mouth?
Well, yeah, as you know, I'm a chiliophile and a bit of an amateur on the topic of ion channels and the receptors that sort of mediate the effects that we're experiencing right now. But I think a lot of people sort of mistake the pathway that gives you the heat effect from chili as being a taste receptor or a flavor receptor. It is in fact a pain receptor. It's an ion channel called TRPV1, and it is really what's mediating your pain response. And in fact, those receptors are the targets of some of the capsaicin-based patches and drugs that are meant to kind of numb, your sort of nervous system at the point where you get like an injury. And so some of these capsaicin patches and some of the products that you can get at Walgreens or the drugstore, basically have purified heat in them. And the whole pathway is similar to what you're experiencing in your mouth, only you're putting it topically onto your arm or your knee or whatever took an injury. And so that sort of analgesic effect that you get from the these hot chili peppers is something that we're not experiencing just yet in our mouths. We're just getting the pain effect. But if we're to keep hammering on this and take it, to the extreme and start eating a bunch of scorpion peppers, eventually our mouths would go numb, and you'd start drooling. And if you go to YouTube, you can watch these sort of hot pepper eating contests where people will wolf them down, and they go through the various phases of pain to numbness to kind of euphoria. And presumably that euphoric stage is like the stage where you're kind of almost like triggering an endorphin sort of response and getting to that point where you've got the runner's high. Which,
I was going to say, it's like the surfer high, only it's like
the
pepper eating high.
Yeah. So if you want to go super extreme, if you're like a extreme sports enthusiast, you can probably get that same effect just from drinking one of these bottles. And you can just stay home in your living room and don't have to worry about getting hurt, other than, of course, the intense pain you'll experience. This one's good. It's triggering a little bit of tickle, right?
Yeah.
It's good. I like it. I'm going to keep using it. I got a full bottle of it here. I'll be using it tonight for supper.
The sweat glands are kicking in a little bit. Our fourth sauce is Mean and Green. We call it the Hulk. It uses Trinidad perfume as well as shishito and fatale chilies, which I hear are pretty spicy. This sauce is clocked to be 80,000 Scoville units. So we're only jumping up about 20 here. So let's see what happens.
Here we go, down the hatch. That heat happened immediately.
I'm so glad you made it first. I think I like this one better than the last one, though.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a softer heat. Is that a thing?
More gentle.
Ooh, that after kick, though.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I think I'm going to have to give in and use the ranch.
I'm going to try to withhold the drinking of the milk to extinguish until we get to the fatality level here. I'm expecting to need it for the next round. Although this is heating up.
The sweat is starting.
Yeah.
Let's really spice things up. Not a lot of people know about our custom assay group, Elite Access. Can you give us some details about the TE services we offer through Elite Access?
Yeah, that'd be great. You're really peppering me with questions here. The Elite Access team is a team at Promega that focuses in on services, but not really like a CRO. They're really designed to use and apply Promega technology in kind of unique and creative ways that are not commoditized or not really commonly, achievable in the field. So where we have kind of unique technology positions. And the latest that they've been focused on, that service group, has been actually using our target engagement technology for our customers to do compound profiling. And they can actually do this in a number of ways. So one of the profiling applications is where customers are interested in a specific target, or maybe a target combination, maybe two targets. They'll send their molecules to us and we'll run the target engagement assay at that target and the anti-target combination. So a good example of that would be like with our E3 ligases, where those assays are designed to quantify the permeability and the engagement of PROTAC molecules, which are generally not very permeable molecules. And so we've gotten tremendous interest in that, and that's really useful to the drug discovery field because it allows us to prioritize the permeability and the engagement potential of those PROTAC molecules. Where it's even more exciting, and what this group is doing, is they've come up with a way to profile compound engagement not just to a single kinase, but actually to about 250 kinases in a single experiment. So customers can provide their drug leads or their prospective molecules to us, and then we can try to basically measure the engagement selectivity of that molecule against almost half of the human kinome. And of course, that's really important because kinases are notoriously difficult to engage in a selective way because their binding pocket, the pocket that is basically that performs the catalysis, which is typically where these drug molecules reside, is highly conserved among the family. So the pocket looks really similar. When you drug these targets, you often drug collateral targets. That can be problematic from a toxicity or off-target standpoint. And so the ability to measure selectivity of drug molecules against half of the kinome in a live cell context is unique to the field and is something that we will support from a service standpoint going forward. So we've already gotten quite a bit of interest in that, and And we look forward to, bringing that to the field going forward in a much broader way. So I think that's going to be an exciting future for us.
All right, Matt, we've made it. I should say you're crushing it. I'm on the struggle bus, sweating. My tongue's on fire, but we're gonna get through our fifth and final sauce.
I'm definitely there with you. I'm feeling the heat as well, so you're not alone in this. The Hulk was next level for sure, and I think the next one is going to be. It doesn't even have a number on it. Like, is this supposed to have a number? I just have like a little cup that has like a skull and crossbones on top of it.
We need you at Promega, so we promise it won't be one that will mirror its name. The sauce is called Fatality. So it is appropriately named and made with the Fatili chill. Oh my gosh, Sarah, the grace here on his tongue is like tingly. It's appropriately named, and it racks up to 120,000 Scoville units. So hopefully you didn't completely soak your wing in it.
I've applied a hearty portion here.
So wow, you are way more daring than I am. Oh no.
Oh no, what'd you
do? A bunch spilled all over the wing.
Well, you gotta eat it. You can't wipe it off. That's against the rules. This is the one that you can I can smell this from like a foot away. So this is gonna be, yes, this is gonna be intense.
All right.
Ready? On three? One, two, three.
Oh. My eyes just immediately started watering.
All right. I'm going to try a little more.
I don't know where that hit me first, the tip of the tongue or like the back of the throat. Like I feel like just inhaling it, I like inhaled the hot sauce.
We're going to make it interesting. We're going to make it interesting. I'm doing another one. I finished the bottle. I finished the cup of it. I'm getting emotional.
Target engagement gets you just all worked up and you love it so much.
Well, I'd like to say it's that, but it's more the pain receptors really firing right now.
It just like hit me in the back of the throat. Woo! Are your glasses fogging up?
I think so.
Ooh.
That was probably the second one where I dumped the rest of the bottle on. That was probably a mistake.
I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Oh, God. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. It's always important to respect the sauce and to let it kick in before you start guzzling it. And I think I think the chugging was a bad choice.
Yeah, if you let it hit you, like I said, it would hit the back of your throat, the sides of your lips.
I might just get the gallon of milk out and pour it over my face.
You know how you were talking earlier about like it's the same technology where like you hurt your knee, you put the heat pack on it. I feel like that's what's happening to my tongue right now, and I feel like there's like a disclaimer right now that's saying like do not put directly on open wounds or tongue or get away from eyes.
Fatality really is a good name for this. Yeah, I'm burning, and I'm doing my best not to reach for that milk. I'm going to try to power through this best that I can, but I've got it ready.
I've already had some of mine, and I doused the last wing in ranch just to finish it.
Good stuff. All right. You going to pepper me with another question?
Yeah. Now that we're both feeling the heat, the floor is yours. Please give a shout out to the latest news or a call out for what's on the horizon with TE.
Yeah, we've got some a very exciting new direction that we are taking the technology. So the way the technology was initially deployed as a product concept and as a technology offering and in our publications was really about measuring target engagement to individual proteins in cells, and it makes sense about why that's valuable. What we're starting to recognize is that there's a lot of nuances to drug pharmacology when you query it in a live cell context. In a purified or in a defined setting, you typically take the target and you measure the drug binding properties in an isolated and defined way. But in a cell, those targets need to operate in the presence of other protein partners and other complexes that can have a tremendously broad and strong impact on engagement pharmacology. So one of the things we recognize is, wouldn't it be valuable if we could measure target engagement to these sort of selected intracellular protein complexes? So the concept is that we could conditionally measure luminescence and our sort of target engagement signal precisely and only at the interface of an intracellular protein-protein interaction. And the way we do that actually is to use our complementation-based technology called nanobit, which is basically a derivative technology of nanoluck. When you have two non-luminescent subunits of nanoluck, when they come together, they produce light and restore kind of the natural or native luminescence of the nanoluck enzyme. And that allows us to tag different intracellular proteins and only generate light for our assay in the presence of a specific and defined protein-protein interaction. And what we've learned is that that kind of an approach can be really enabling to understand and accurately sort of define engagement pharmacology in a disease-relevant or kind of a pathophysiological setting. And it was enabling to the story I mentioned earlier about the RAS-MAPK pathway. It's really this approach of using the nanobit system to look at a complex and then use that as the energy transfer into the fluorescent tracer was truly enabling for us in that pathway. So you're going to hear a lot more about this over the coming months and years, and we're very excited about it. And if I survive this experience, I'm looking forward to working on that some more. If I don't make it, tell my team they did a good job and they have to go on without me. So.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us all about target engagement while enjoying these extreme sauces. And we appreciate all the work that you and your team have been doing, and stay sizzling.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. That was awesome. Thanks a lot. Let's do it again sometime.
Looking forward to it.